bigcal and welcome to my world. Today another recent video game pickups video. So some of these games I got back in November during the whole Black Friday sales, when it wasn't just Black Friday, it was a whole week, and then some I got as recent as just a couple of days ago. So we'll start off with the first one, an old NES game, Bionic Commando. I've been after picking this one up for a few years now, and I finally got around to actually buying it. So yeah, it's a platform game where you can't jump, which a little odd at first, does take some time to get used to, but you have a bionic arm which extends and uses like a grappling hook where you grab onto platforms, you can swing across, you can use it to pull yourself up, and it's a really interesting game. Haven't played much of it yet, but you know, it's one to add to the collection and one that I will get round to playing one day in the future, hopefully. So I'll just put that there. Next, some 3DS and DS games. We'll start with the DS, and it is Tetris DS. I'm a big fan of the original Tetris, and it was mentioned on a Facebook group that I'm part of to do with retro gaming, and I thought to myself, hey, the other Tetris game that people really like is the DS one, right? People really like that one. It's often claimed to be one of the best Tetris games along with the original. So, went online to look for it, and I was surprised by how much it goes for. Because it's a Tetris game. But, yeah, it can go upwards of £15 depending on where you look. I managed to get it for £7. So no, £7.50, that was with £1.50 postage and packaging, so £6 and then £1.50 P&P, and you know, it did come with the manual and everything, good condition. It's really fun. You've just got your original basic Tetris game, then you've got a bunch of different modes which also use Nintendo IPs and that, which is probably why it's gone up in price, because they don't make it anymore. They haven't got the Nintendo licenses for Tetris. Really fun game. A lot of the other modes are very addictive. You have ones where they come down and you move the one block and you can change it, and the other blocks get added onto it, and you try and build it up, and when you get like a certain square of blocks, you can then use them to explode and destroy enemies that are on the screen to get more points, and it just keeps going and going and going and going until you die, basically. Really, really fun, very addictive. Highly recommend Tetris DS if you're a fan of Tetris games or just puzzle games. Very good. And get it now before it goes up another like £30 in 2 years' time. Right, some 3DS games. This one is the one I got just last week. I'd never heard of this game before until I was watching a Hot Take. That's the secondary channel for Re-Res. Where they do hot takes and talk about different subjects, and one of them was games that they play, like the top 5 games that they played in 2018 that weren't actually released in 2018, just really good games they played that year. And one of them was talking about this game, and when I looked it up, it was originally released on the DS, but didn't make it to Europe. Made it to US, obviously came out in Japan, didn't get here, but then it got a remake that came out in 2017, I believe. I think it was actually 2018 when it got shifted to Europe and America. But yeah, 3DS version of it, and I liked the sound of it. I looked it up. There is a demo on the 3DS which you can play. Highly recommend giving it a try. And that is Radiant Historia, and it's the Perfect Chronology edition on the 3DS. It's by Atlas, so you know, it's going to be good, probably. You know, obviously a JRPG, and there's time travel involved. Basically, you have this book that can create, you know, like points in time that you can go back to and make different decisions, and that will branch off to different timelines, and you have to try and pick the right one. And even if you pick the wrong one, you can then go back in time and change your decision, do something else. So you might have to change your decision in a different timeline so that it affects the other timeline to do what you want. So it's really cool. I've played about 3 hours of the demo, haven't got around to playing the main game yet, but if you play the demo you get a couple of exclusive items that you can then move over along with the save file to the full version, so that's cool. So yeah, highly recommend this. I was looking it up, Wait, was that right? I was looking it up. Yeah, okay, words. Looked it up online to see the prices. eBay, about 50 quid. CEX, that's a big second-hand place here in the UK. £55. And then there's, no, I think it's free delivery after £50, but yeah, 55 quid. Amazon, brand new, 30 quid. And this version even comes with an art book. Nice, pretty cool little art book there. Yeah, that's character designs and things, don't want to spoil much. And I believe there's also a code for a free 3DS theme as well on the back of the instruction manual. Yeah. The case, if you do get it from Amazon, the back of the case has multiple different languages, so it's for all of Europe rather than just the UK based one, but the actual game and everything, the art book and that is all in English as well, so you're alright. Yeah, so definitely worth, I believe, the £30, so very happy with that. And yeah, it's probably going to be another one of those games. It's a JRPG, I'd never heard of it, a lot of people probably haven't heard of it. Gonna go up in price soon, so yeah, if you're interested, play the demo on the 3DS and yeah, pick it up while you still can. A couple of games I got in the Boxing Day sales, that's the day after Christmas, over here in the UK. Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Ultra Moon, but I got the special edition versions, come in the big thick boxes, and they have steel cases with them. I think they're the Ultimate Fan Editions, is that what they're called? Yeah, Fan Editions. I own Sun and Ultra Sun, those are the versions that I picked up for the 3DS, so I thought I would like to get the Moon Editions at some point to add to my Pokemon collection. 20 quid each. Yeah, cheaper than the normal versions without the big box and the steel case. I thought, might as well pick them up now because Pokemon games have a tendency to go up in price. I mean, I just bought Heart Gold on the DS, it cost me 40 quid at the retro gaming market in December. Yeah, so these are going to go up in price eventually, and I would very much like a complete Pokemon game collection, at least the main series. So yeah, picked these up while they could, 20 quid each, and that was the Christmas money that I got from my grandma that I spent on these, so very happy. We have now some Switch games, which you will have already seen, and that is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Starlink Battle for Atlas on the Switch. Got the normal versions here, but I did get, obviously Starlink comes with a ship, and Smash Brothers I got the Ultimate Edition that came with the GameCube controller. That I have videos on both of me unboxing the special editions and giving you my first impressions, so I'll put the links in the description below, so check those out. Really fun games. I'm currently playing the hell out of this. This I need to get back into because there was an update with even more features and things added into it, and it's a fun game. And it is still going really cheap in a lot of places. I saw it for $17.99 in Game, of all places, the other day. And Game, let's face it, they're expensive bastards when it comes to actual games. Yeah, so you can still get it for between 17 and 20 quid depending on where you shop. So yeah, it's worth the price in my opinion. And this, definitely, is it worth the price, because it goes for like 45 quid most places still. If you can get it for 40, I would say pick it up. Yeah, I don't really like paying more than 40 quid for brand new games unless it's the old special editions that I'm really interested in. So yeah, great games. Next is a game I haven't even played yet, but it was brand new. It was dirt cheap, it cost me like £1, still sealed, and that is for the PS3, Medieval, however it's pronounced, Moves, and it is basically a game that uses the PS3 Move controllers. The reason I haven't played it yet is because I don't own Move controllers yet. I do want to pick them up at some point, because I got the Wii when that came out. It's got the Wii motion controls, obviously. The 360, I have a 360. I have the Kinect for it, which is there, moving base thing, and then the PS3 from that generation also had the Move controllers. So I would like to pick them up at some point so I have all that generation, moving style controllers. And this game will be just one I can test on it at the very least. Did I mention it was cheap? It was very cheap. Speaking of cheap, a game that didn't get the best of receptions due to lots of delays, disappointment for what they said it was going to be and turned out not to be. That's what you get when you have Kickstarter games. That is Mighty Number 9. I got it for the Wii U. Bulk up my Wii U collection. I'm a big fan of that system. It's hugely underrated. And it cost me £3. £3 for the game, and it also comes with includes the Ray expansion, and then inside there's an art book and a poster. So for £3, can't really go wrong with that, to be honest. So I was very happy to pick it up at that price. Of course, it was brand new, still sealed. Played it for a little bit. It was okay. I mean, for a £3 game, it was probably worth the money. Yeah, I definitely would have been disappointed if I'd have backed this on Kickstarter with the way it's supposed to look and play, and then the way it ended up. I can definitely understand why people were disappointed and upset with it. But yeah, again, for £3, added to my collection, got DLC, got an art book, got a poster. I'm happy with that. And lastly, a game I'm very happy to finally add to my collection. I played this one time a while ago, talking years ago, when I originally had my Wii modded, and I was playing modded games on it. I've since removed all the mods from my Wii, and I just buy physical games now because I want to build up my collection. This was before I started really collecting. Yeah, so I played it once. It was fun, but because I had access to so many games, I just never got around to playing this one again at the time. Finally picked it up. It is starting to jump up in price because a lot of these games from the series don't drop in price that much anyway. That is of course part of the Dragon Ball series, and this one is Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up for the most part. Levels tend to be sort of a mix between just bit of platforming, tad bit of puzzles, and beat-em-up. You'll be going along just like running around, doing a bit of platforming, then you'll get into areas where enemies will appear and you have to beat the crap out of them, and then you move on and there'll be no enemies for a bit as you're doing some platforming, then enemies will appear, then you have a big boss at the end, and yeah, it's just a really fun game. It's kind of like a console version of was it Dragon Ball Advance or something, where it sort of while it says Revenge of King Piccolo, and that's where it'll no doubt end. It starts with the Red Ribbon Army stuff, so you get to go through all that. So yeah, really enjoying this. Actually, while I was doing my whole World's Strongest Man stuff on bigcalsworld.co.uk, where I was writing for all the heats and the final and things, I was screen capturing the episodes, so I had them on my computer, so I could pause and get screen grabs and not just have it online, because sometimes I find it really dodgy. You pause stuff sometimes on one of these like BBC iPlayer and things, and you click play again, it just doesn't start up again. It's a pain in the ass. So I screen capture it all. While I was screen capturing it, for the whole 45-minute episodes, I would play through this and get through about 3 or 4 levels. So yeah, really fun game. Glad to finally own it back in my collection officially, because obviously I just had it on a copy disc back in the day. Yes, I had my Wii modded when you had to download and burn the games onto a disc to play before you could play them off a USB stick or a hard drive. Yeah, that's how early I had my Wii modded. Yeah, so finally got that in my collection. So those are all my recent video game pickups. Probably going to slow down a little bit on buying games, at least older games probably, because there's quite a few new games coming out this year that I'm really looking forward to. I've already pre-ordered Yoshi's Crafted World, which comes out on the 25th of March, I think. the end of March anyway. I pre-ordered that, so I'm very excited to get that. There's a bunch of other Switch games coming out this year that'll hopefully be, I'd rather buy those at a normal full price rather than 4 or 5 older games for the same price, because I really want to get into some newer stuff for a change, because like I said, there's a lot of good games coming out this year. I'd like to play them as soon as possible. Anyway, I'm Big Cal. I will be back in hopefully next week with a non-gaming pickups video. I'm waiting on 2 things coming in the post, I believe. Is it 2? Yes, 2 things coming in the post, and then I'll be able to do a video of my non-gaming pickups. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.